You okay, Mike? Are you okay?
I'm honestly, I am frustrated. I've had enough of it. I've had enough.
Oh, okay.
I can't deal with this anymore. Enough is enough.
What what
Oh, you want to know what? This crap. This crap. This crap. And then this crap. If I hear for family one more time, there you go again. This crap. But this meme. Is this meme dead? The meme can't die. You got family. And if that's not bad enough, Macaulay Culkin. Really? Really? Stop the memes. Okay? Van Diesel. He played Groot. Okay? Give me a break. Let's just get past it. Let's get.
well,
I'm
maybe
done.
we should start the show
I think we should.
for the family.
Thank you.
This is the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Poe. Seriously, dude, those memes are like all over the place.
I know.
Seriously.
I know. It's all my feed.
I've been looking.
There were non-dom memes talking about please stop the dom memes. So even the non-dom memes were dom memes.
Don memes, which was even just as bad. All you're doing is promoting the Dom anyway. So yeah, I mean, here I am trying to find memes for the page for our followers, and I keep finding. I mean, a couple is fine, but I don't understand the need to continue with these memes. But anyhow, that's just me. That's just me.
That's just meme.
That's just meme. So yes. So
man,
tonight we're gonna touch on a lot of stuff tonight, and then we're gonna kind of our bigger topic. We're gonna talk about Star Wars Vision, which at first when I heard the name, I thought it was weird, and then when I saw the trailer, I got all excited because I'm thinking, yes, this is going to be fun. But first, we've got a lot of other things that are going on. It's kind of a
true.
Just want to just kind of mention this. Richard Donner, he passed away a couple of days ago. If you don't know Richard Donner, he was the man who was behind the Superman of the early 1970s, which is still one of my favorites. Richard Donner, he did Superman in 1978, Superman 2, Superman 3.
Yep.
He was part of, if he didn't directed it, he had some kind of association with it. The Goonies, the Lethal Weapon series, X-Men, the first X-Men, Maverick, the toy, Radio Flyer, X-15, Lady Hawk, which, that's, Matthew Broderick. That's a throwback, but but anyway, yeah. So it's sad we've and Kevin Feige, which I thought was interesting. He did kind of a thing about Kevin Feige. Feige honors Richard Donner, and he just talks about how he was a big influence in comic books and getting involved even in the MCU universe, even though it was DC. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is
so
pretty
anyway,
cool.
just we lost the legend, but we have so
definitely did.
much. He's left us so much good stuff. Yeah. So anyway, on that note,
because we talked about Dom earlier, the Dom memes.
Yeah, the Dom memes.
I have to mention Keith Boaz, Kill It With Fire. I mean, there are worse memes that have blown up, but come on.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you, sir. I agree with you. Wow.
And Rob apparently liked my comment just before I went to the
Mr. Rick,
intro.
my friend Rob, yes. Oh,
And Daryl McCarty, how is everything going with you as well?
oh, Mr. McCarty, one of our favorites here on the show. Yeah, so anyway, we got a lot to talk about tonight.
We
Star
do.
Wars Vision. We're going to talk about. Also, we're going to talk about some other things that are happening in nerd entertainment.
Yep.
So I think, but we have our stupid news, and so maybe, just
Should we
maybe,
do the stupid news?
maybe we should visit stupid news.
This is the weird and stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Well, no matter how you feel about this man, we're about to talk about Jeff Bezos, who's the gazillionaire of Amazon.
Yes.
Apparently, we apparently, he's going to go to space. That's his big goal. He's going to go to space. I think between him and what's the other guy, Richard, for Virgin.
Yes.
Yes, they're going to compete who can get up there
I want to
first.
say Richard Donner, but I don't think that's right.
No, Richard Donner. No, he's up there, but he's not in space. So anyhow, interesting. Apparently, right now, and this is this is I get my head wrapped around this, but actually, an activist, I guess they call it the Attic Association, holds cutout signs depicting Amazon Jeff Bezos, which is interesting. This is a little bit of his, for our for our audio people, it's just a cutout of Jeff Bezos. But the real gem here is basically in front of the banner reading "Stop Amazon" during a demonstration on the site where Amazon was planning to build, or plans to build, 38,000 square meters warehouse. In southeast France. So they're upset about that. And of course, we all know that Jeff Bezos prepares for a historic flight to space, which will be interesting. Of course, he is the man who can do it with all his money.
Yeah.
But
So is this going to become a space race between Bezos and Donner or
And our Tesla
Richard,
man.
or are we going to get is Tesla going to get into this race? I think Tesla will beat them.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, yes, exactly. But the thing about his historic flight to space, there's a lot of people who don't want him to come back. Thousands, in fact. A petition has been started asking humans to slam the door on Bezos when he tries to return to his home planet.
That's funny.
The petition, and then I think the petition to not allow Jeff Bezos re-enter Earth is on change.org, was created by
goodness.
Jose Orts, who jokingly, but a question mark, is he joking, starts off by revealing Bezos' true identity. Yes, Jeff Bezos is actually, he says, is Lex Luthor disguised as a supposed owner of a super successful online retail store. However, he's actually an evil overlord hell-bent on global domination. He also adds Jeff has worked... what we got here from Keith?
Oh, Keith says, I literally said that when Bezos said he's going to space, it's the 21st century space race. Absolutely.
I tell you what. And so also Jeff, and also he adds that Jeff has worked with Epstein and the Knights Templar, as well as the Freemasons, to gain control over the whole world. He also in bed with the flatliners, the flat earth deniers. Is the only way that they allow him to leave the atmosphere. Meanwhile, our government stands by and lets it happen. The petition concludes that with the goal of petition, this may be our this may be our last chance before this may be our last chance before they enable the 5G microchip and perform a mass takeover. Yes, the petition has reached 15,000. And, of course, Bezos does own Blue Origin, which is going to take him up in the air. So more than likely, they'll bring him back. Apparently, it's only a 10-minute flight to get to space, and they would not have a big enough padlock to be able to close the Earth. So, anyway, this is
I
really
think
strange.
I think Elon Musk will beat him there.
I
But
think
as
Elon, yeah.
as a side note, I actually there Elon Musk says he wants to go to Mars and he isn't planning on coming back.
You know, I don't think I think he left a long time ago and he hasn't come back since. So I
Todd says
think
he'd sign the petition.
yes. Now on the next article here, I know right now weight loss is on a lot of people's mind. There's the obesity. There's all kinds of I don't know, different gimmicks, also types of diets and what do you want to call it, lifestyles. But there's a new device that's
This
actually
is what
was
my
created.
wife read about.
Oh my goodness. A new weight loss device that uses magnets to stop a person's jar from opening wide enough to eat solid food has been developed to help fight global obesity epidemic.
It's it fits on your face, right?
Well, I have a little, it
keeps
does.
you from opening your mouth.
There's a little lock. See that little,
Oh my gosh.
and if that's not graphic enough, and good thing our audience on the audio podcast cannot see this. Basically, this is what happens. It's amazing to me that somebody would allow themselves to end up being in that kind of situation. But
So it shuts your mouth magnetically so you can't eat any solid food.
that's right. The tool
Why
developed by
would anyone want to do that?
Well, the tool was developed by researchers from the United Kingdom and the University of Otago in New Zealand. And see, they use these magnetic devices, I guess, with this unique custom manufacturer looking bolts like we saw on there, and can be fitted to the upper and lower teeth. It restricts a person to liquid. So it gives, it's enough clearance so you can have liquid. So
Okay.
it's kind of dubbed the Delta Slim Diet Control. The device allows the wearer to open their mouth just 1/5 of a centimeter or 2 millimeter, while still allowing users to breathe normally. That's a plus.
Well, yeah, it's nice you can breathe.
Yes,
I
exactly.
guess.
Participants said that they were satisfied with the results and was
Wait,
motivated to
wait.
lose.
They actually convinced people to
Oh
use
yeah,
it.
yeah. 7 women who took part in the study, they lost a means about 14 pounds, roughly 5.1% of their body fat. But they also said they also complained of the occasional discomfort.
Imagine that. Rob Moore says, "I'm ashamed to be associated with nations." This.
And also they noted that life in general was less satisfying. You think?
Imagine that.
One
Life is less satisfying without food. I would think so.
now this
It's
is
one
my
of the
favorite.
few joys I have in life. Okay.
Well, this is one of my favorites parts right here. One participant even admitted to cheating by consuming melted chocolate and carbonated drinks.
Nice.
The participants had
Todd
trouble
said
pronouncing.
Todd said he would puree sirloin. That sounds disgusting.
Participants had trouble pronouncing some words and felt
Oh,
tense
imagine
and
that.
embarrassed. So anyway, a lot of people on social media called it medieval torture, and let's just say there was a big backlash on social media, believe that or not. So
I would believe that.
But on the other note, now this is interesting. The prices of lumber is really high. A lot of people
Yeah.
are having issues trying to do at-home
Yes,
projects, build a house right now. But a situation is happening at the Pennsylvania Home Depot. Apparently, police were called to break up a reported exorcism from dead trees in the lumber aisle of Home
I
Depot in
vaguely
Pennsylvania.
heard about this. An exorcism in the lumber aisle
Yeah, that's
of
right.
the Home Depot.
Yes, the Dixon City Police Department disclosed this bizarre incident in a Facebook post detailing
Now,
911 calls. Yes,
I
sir.
just have a question.
Yes.
So, exercising, this is an exorcism of trees. So, were these
Hmm.
like, was this lumber like cut from
Possessed.
trees that were made over an ancient Indian burial ground, or
I don't know.
what exactly possessed the tree
I
that
think
it needed to have an
I think there's
exorcism?
I think the police are using the term differently. I think actually they later on they describe it more of a séance because and get
Okay.
this, the post quickly went viral as commenters begged to know more about the details. Unfortunately, there were not a video, unfortunately, to show. Uh,
Okay.
uh, Basically, the Dixon police officers offered a fuller explanation to the Philly Voice, saying that it was a seance type of thing for the dead. So, since the trees
Okay.
are dead, there were two people.
Ah.
So you get that? There were two people hanging out in the lumber department doing their little exorcism thing, and they had like candles lit up. You know, they were because they were doing their little thing, whatever that was. A vague Facebook post drew hundreds
Wait,
of.
wait. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm following all this. They're in the Home Depot.
Yes.
They lit candles. So we now
So
have
we have
open flames
flames. Yes.
around
Round.
flammable wood.
Yes.
This doesn't sound like a good plan.
No, it doesn't
I'm
sound
just
like.
saying.
No, it's okay. I
By
totally
the way,
agree.
Dan Leckie likes your mug.
Well, thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. So anyway, apparently there's 100 of comments, of course, you know, from people, you know, sarcastically defending the duo. This is some of the fun stuff I saw on the social media. It says sometimes I think 2x4s in my garage are possessed. May
Well,
the price of plywood.
and
What?
Keith says, so an exorcism implies the trees were haunted. Were the trees collected from Sleepy Hollow? I don't know.
That's a good question. Another comment was, "May the price of plywood come down in the name of Christ compels you." And another one says, "I will light a candle for the lumber at Lowe's," wrote Judith Ann Farsnick. Also, too, another person said, "I mean, I would totally understand an exorcism for the price of lumber," joked David. He said, "The inflation be gone by the power of the name of Bob Vila." And so, yes, that's.
The power
And at the
of
end,
Bob
and
Vila.
and for the very last stupid news, I don't know if you've seen this or not. It's interesting. The CDC apparently left a mark on social media this weekend as the agenda shared a GIF with very memorable ways to urge good hygiene in swimming pools this summer. Apparently, the CDC said,
Okay.
"Don't swim or let your kids swim if sick with diarrhea." That's a good tip. One person
That
with diarrhea can contaminate the entire pool. Yes, we
yeah,
understand that.
that would be
Yes.
yeah.
The problem is CDC even offered a very descriptive passage about those illness happenings. They say tiny amounts of poop or rinse off swimmers' bottoms as they swim through the water. If someone with an infectious diarrhea, which can contain one of a billion germs, gets in the recreational water, germs can be swallowed, can be washed off through the bottom, contaminated the water, and these germs can make someone else sick if they swallow the water. So don't swallow the water. Now, if this wasn't bad enough, even without the diarrhea, the agency adds two very important pieces of advice: don't poop in the water, and don't swallow the water. That's very good advice. And if that's not enough, they have an entire webpage dedicated to what poop and pee-filled pools can do to you. That's the title of it. For many people, it was all about the gifts. And pardon to our audio audience, but just check it out from CDC.com. One GIF here shows that, look, don't leave your marks at the pool this summer.
Is this real?
This is real. And of course,
Oh.
Now imagine the gif of her
She
coming
left
down.
a skid mark down the slide. Ah, that's
Now
disgusting.
in the gif, she comes down, and then in the middle, all suddenly the stuff comes up. So there you go. Not only
Oh.
that, what's what
Rob
happened?
Morse says, "I'm no swimmer. I'm really not,
Not
a swimmer,
now. On this next gif from the CDC, not making this up, diarrhea and swimming don't mix. If you wouldn't do this, then you wouldn't do this.
Oh gosh, this is so disgusting. You have had some ill some. You've had some subjects that I was like a little cringy.
Yeah.
This one is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen, and it's legitimately from the CDC.
Yeah, this is true stuff. Yeah, you definitely can't. Yeah, it says it's basically go.usa.gov/
well, you don't want to go.
Yeah,
don't go.
You don't want to do that. But but this is also another one too. Don't pee in the pool. And you see, everyone's not very excited about that. Of course, too, in the GIF itself, is that everyone's smiling, and then all of a sudden you see these faces. Check it out, cdc.com, and look for swimming GIFs. They are there. And I will end this.
Daryl McCarty says, "I will no longer step foot in a public pool."
That's right. And this is my stupid news.
Oh my goodness, this is, yeah. That was the weird and disgusting stupid news with Mike Schilling.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't end very well, did it?
That was so, it didn't come out in the end very well.
Well, at least we oozed it out in time.
Oh, stop. Just stop.
So tonight we brought back our friend Mr.
Hold on.
Todd V.
Rob says that is the best and worst last stupid news article ever.
Thank you,
Todd.
That means a lot.
Yes, Rob. The
that
best
means a
and
lot.
the worst all at the same time.
Well, we decided to bring back our old Florida man himself, who I like to call Todd V. Welcome, Todd V, to the show, our Florida man.
Todd VC.
Yes.
Welcome to the hurricane wannabe state of the United
Yes, I've heard that you guys kind of dodged a bullet.
Yes, they were telling us to expect torrential rains and gale force winds, and we basically got a mist that you would experience up in the mountains from clouds and a gentle breeze. So,
oh yeah. Well,
hey, I need to go back to the CDC thing.
Yeah, go right ahead. We can camp on that all night.
Go ahead. We got a lot of pools. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
First of all, what did the graphic designer that had to come up with that concept?
Well, that was one of the comments.
That was one
of the comments. Which government worker was in charge of having to do this?
Oh my God.
I mean, I would love to do it. I would raise my hand and say, "Hey, I'll do it." You know that. So,
another observation is this is how somebody else was saying how.
Hey, we want to say shout out. Hey, Ricky Dean Bottoms the second. He says, "I'm now scared for a while. Thanks, CDC." Yes, if it wasn't. Yes, well, I think they got bored with COVID, so they started throwing Finkelmeyer in the swimming pools.
Exactly. And I think Keith Boaz had a comment about it being like Jar Jar Binks level idiocy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how much chlorine is in a public pool?
Yeah, but they were also making a comment, and I didn't read that part where chlorine will only, I don't know. I'm not an expert, as you can tell. Now, I do know my poo, but I'm not an expert on chlorine. But they did say that, chlorine can only kill so much of fecal matter. So
yes, to
go
bring
ahead.
this back to an old episode.
Yes.
Just because my brain suddenly went there.
Go ahead, my friend.
Do you recall our episode on the Consumer Electronics Show?
Oh, yes.
And the Bluetooth-enabled toilet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these people need a Bluetooth-enabled toilet,
Oh, they
And
do.
when the Bluetooth enabled toilet scans your poo,
Yes.
it should like make a recommendation on your phone
Yeah, exactly.
as you get closer to a public pool to say,
Yeah.
you are not
Yeah.
allowed here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're banned.
That's
After that, you are
right there.
banned. Well, you always wonder why they always say wash before you get in the pool. Well, there you go.
Rob
There you
Moore
go.
says, let's face it, the graphic designer has the best job ever.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
right.
Wholeheartedly. Well, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and I didn't give Mr. Todd V any warning because I think, he has a lot of good information. I think he'll dig what we're going to talk about tonight. But number one, there has been this, and again, it could be rumors. But I'm gonna mention this. But right now, there's a lot of rumors about maybe Hugh Jackman might consider the whole Wolverine return.
Yes.
I've been seeing that.
Now a lot of people are saying, why are you saying this? But there's been some Instagram and some tweets going on, and tweets from Jackman himself. I'll show one right here where he posted one with him and Kevin Feige, and also there was some artwork that was done by a fan that Jackman also posted as well, which fans are just going all over, gaga over, because they're thinking to themselves, my goodness. And of course, again, here is, Feige and Hugh Jackman, which is interesting. And just some of it, recent Instagram story. And so anyway, now there was some of the information where, Feige did talk about last year's, New Mutants, and talked about, how rebooting the X-Men. Feige confirmed at I think it was San Diego Comic-Con 2019 that the X-Men would eventually be introduced in the MCU universe. Now, and they're going to be rebooted, but Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, of course, his character is not going to be rebooted, but I think it would be awesome. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds playing Wolverine and Deadpool. That is a me, please. That's my Christmas wish right there.
Now, see, that could really work.
Oh, yes.
Because you could say Hugh Jackman is not really going to be Wolverine for the overall MCU. But he is going to show up in the Deadpool movie just because we can't resist.
I could totally do that.
And with Rob Moore's comment here with lots of dollar signs as S's, I'm sure there are some good incentives.
Yeah, I mean, Disney is not stupid. I mean, because they were talking about rebooting the X-Men, and of course, they were talk about recasting the movie, and of course, they talk about, well, how can we put Jackman in there, and they talked about multiverses and all this other stuff can happen, but I think people wouldn't care. I think if they hired Hugh Jackman, I think it would not only prevent potential backlash, but it would also be a safe bet, for Disney, to portray Wolverine again. I think, of course, they talk about how he's going to do it. Now, this is weird. I read somewhere where Loki introduces the whole concept of the multiverse, blah, blah, blah. But who knows? I mean, there's a lot you can do with this. But honestly, you can have Wolverine as the elder statesman, and you have a younger team, and I could see that. But man, wouldn't that be awesome? Now, for a long time, Hugh Jackman said he wanted nothing to do with it, but he did say that if the X-Men ever came to the actual MCU universe, he would actually be interested. He did make that comment. So, well, guess what? That's what we're getting, hopefully. Being, since Disney owned Fox and Disney. What do you guys think about this? Because I know this not even been confirmed, but man, the thought of it just excites me.
Well, like Keith made a mention just a few seconds ago about, Ryan Reynolds is losing his mind, and he's that guy is so and he's over the moon. I mean, I love the feud that they do against each other.
but there's this real love they have for each other. I mean, and they have so much fun. And seeing them two together. Oh, Keith Boaz, he said, I heard the news on Jackman returning to it, and Ryan Reynolds. I'm not for sure is his losing his mind with excitement. Yeah, man, I could see Ryan Reynolds just going, let's do it. And it's funny, even with remember the Deadpool, they were doing some promos in the background, and Deadpool was actually in bed and used Jackman's hotel room. And, Hugh Jackman is trying to talk about what he's doing, and you can hear Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, in the background singing, something about tomorrow. And so you see these guys crossing over what they do, and they're always supporting each other. And so I can't, of course, with, Aviation Vodka, and of course, the name of Hugh Jackman's coffee. I can't remember his coffee brand he has out there. But so they've always worked well together. So this would be a great thing for me. I would love this.
I'd pay $30 to Disney for that one.
Oh, dude, I would pay.
Okay, how would you feel if they had Jackman show up, cameo at least, in a Deadpool movie?
Yeah.
But he wasn't actually Wolverine. He was either just a guy, or he was actually Hugh Jackman.
Now I can, if they did that, I mean, the problem is they have this news out, okay? So right now all the rumors are flying. So if that's what they did, I would be terribly disappointed, because my hopes, would totally be, smashed. And, I would probably go to a pool and just defecate in the pool just to show my anger. So with that in mind, with that in mind, like everything else, I think the biggest thing is I lost my train of thought because I saw something I didn't want to see up on my screen. So anyway, we won't speak negative. But but anyhow, but if it was like, if none of this was mentioned and it just came out of the blue, like it was like they did the whole thing with, he was looking through the mansion and he opened up the door and here's the X-Men trying to have a conversation. They, and they closed the door kind of thing. That's
Except
funny.
This time it's Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. So, but with all this hype and all these rumors, I think fans would be so disappointed. I don't think it would have the same feel. Todd, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ricky, if Jackman did show up as Jackman in the movie, that Deadpool would have some snarky comment like he did in his movie where he went up to the mansion and he was making comments about you would think they can't afford any more actors or any more super.
Oh, I love that. How hilarious that was.
Like, there's only two people here,
Oh yeah. If they get Jackman on board for even just a cameo, it will be, you'd think we had a different, you'd think we were owned by a different studio now that actually has some money.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I can totally see that. So anyway, I thought that was pretty wild. I hope, and I wanted your, what you guys thought about it. I think that would be so awesome. It'd be a great gift for Marvel fans, like myself. So, but speaking of Marvel, I also had some DC stuff. I think Suicide Squad is coming pretty soon.
Yes.
And and so
way too many characters in that movie.
Way too many characters. They were talking with, I guess, Peter Gunn is the one who's actually producing this one.
Yeah.
And they had this thing where they were asking about why Will Smith didn't carry over. And of course, this is a reboot, of course.
Yeah.
But so he played Deadshot.
Yeah.
And so, and I can't remember his name. Oh, he's a good actor. It's
Idris Elba is the de facto replacement.
Yes,
he will be.
And go ahead.
He will be better as Deadshot.
Yeah, he's not actually. He's playing Bloodsport.
Oh well.
So, and I think that's interesting. Why did they do that if they're doing a reboot? Are they thinking maybe later on they can bring Will Smith in as Deadshot? But,
I think they just decided they weren't going to. I think rather than just do a straight up replacement,
yeah,
just replacing the actor, I think they just figured it will just be easier to just replace the actor and just ignore the old character.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, nothing against Will Smith. I enjoyed a lot of his movies, but I think, but when they did the first Suicide Squad, it was almost like, okay, he's too well known to be in this part.
Yes,
and I didn't want it to be the Will Smith show, the cast around him. So this is now the actor. Go ahead, Todd.
And it kind of was the Will Smith show.
Yeah, it was. And it was, now, which I thought was odd. Now, Maggie, I can't remember Maggie's last name. He plays Harley Quinn.
But Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, Margot Robbie.
Now, of course, I don't think most people didn't know who she was. And now she's going to be in the new one, but I don't think she's not going to take over the spot. Of course, she can't. We got 500 Suicide Squad's members on the team.
Yeah, there's way too many people in this movie.
But I think
that's like a platoon.
That is a platoon. And they were talking about, well, maybe there was some drama in the background with Will Smith and, with Peter Gunn, but they were saying, scheduling conflicts with James, James Gunn coming, with his whole, Galaxy of the Guardian and all that stuff that was going on. But I don't know. But I'm excited. I think they have the right person. I like him.
Idris Elba is a great actor.
Yeah, I think he's a great actor. I think he's a fine fit for it.
He's a very serious actor, so he's believable.
Yeah,
and you can believe, and he's going to be kind of this leader anchor of the group. You can sense that already. But how are they going to do this? This many actors? I mean, what? I haven't even looked up how many hours this movie is supposed to be. I say hours. Ricky, did it say anything about?
I haven't looked. DC, well, Warner Brothers has been notorious about making the movie shorter than it probably should have.
Yeah.
If Gunn has his way, my guess is they're going to aim for 2.5.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to.
But I bet Warner will limit them to just under 2. Let me see if I can find.
Or they're going to have like a,
That would be a mistake.
I mean, are they going to have like they're going to do the same thing with the Snyder cut? They're going to do
looks like runtime is expected to be 132 minutes. So that's probably including credits.
Yeah.
So that'll be right at 2 hour, rather than 2.5.
A lot of characters are going to have to be killed in the very beginning. I mean,
honestly, I think that's what I think is
going to happen.
I think we're gonna jump in to a big fight scene. This is my fan theory that is probably completely wrong.
Oh, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
I think the movie will open with a big fight scene. They're all on scene. Several of them die, and then they all go back. The living ones all go back to jail, and then they're sent on the real mission for the movie as a smaller team.
Yeah, the first scene they kill half of them.
Yeah, I totally believe that, and it's going to be humorous how they die, and it's going to be all that kind of stuff. So things are going to backfire. You got guys, John Cena who plays Peacemaker.
He'll live. He's going to live.
Yeah,
because he's already got a contract for a show of his own.
Yeah, so I like Nathan.
I need to go.
I love Nathan Fillion, so I kind of hope he gets to stick around, but he's one of my favorites. He was on Firefly and some other stuff. I guess he's currently or was on The Rookie, which I haven't seen, but anyhow, but that's my biggest thing. How are you going to squeeze all these people in that movie? Is there any particular character you look? Yeah, I think it comes out like August the 23rd. I think.
Sounds
Let
about
me
right.
see. Sounds about right. August the 6th, 2021.
Yeah. So we know Harley Quinn it will be a major act.
Yeah,
She will be there the whole thing.
Yeah.
Bloodsport, Idris Elba will be there the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Peacemaker is. I can't imagine they're going to kill him off and then give him a TV show.
No, that doesn't
that's
make
a
any
prequel.
sense.
That didn't
Doesn't
really
make
make
any
sense. Rick Flag will survive unless he dies at the end. As some dramatic thing. Captain Boomerang probably will live since was in the first movie. He didn't get a great shot at the first movie, but he'll live.
Is there any other people?
Capaldi is the thinker in this movie, and I think he could. That one's kind of a weird character. I don't know why he's even in it. Honestly,
he could die in spectacular fashion, as far as
yeah,
he could. But then we've got Polka Dot Man. I could see him dying in the first second. Of the movie.
How did they get the character out of Dr. Seuss?
I don't know.
Polka Dot Man.
Savant, I've never even heard of.
It reminds me of X-Force from Deadpool, from the Deadpool 2 movie, which I would have watched. I would watch that again, Deadpool and X-Force, but that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, they're going to be a mass. I don't know. I thought I read somewhere.
Nathan Fillion is playing something called TDK, which some people think is going to actually be Arm Fall Off Boy.
Yeah, he's going to die.
Yeah, Ratcatcher is probably going to die. King Shark will probably live just because of who the voice
He's a major staple of the Suicide Squad.
I'm going to predict that King Shark is going to be a scene stealer.
Probably
so.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Now, is Sean Gunn? Is that the brother of the director? He's related to the director and somehow. He is playing some character called Weasel.
Yeah.
Who's just literally a giant weasel. I could see him dying really fast, and
Squirrel Girl,
and then Javelin. I am sure that he is not going to last long. Javelin's played by Falula Borg. If you're familiar with him, if you're familiar with him, you're not. He is a odd duck. He used to do these weird. He's not American. He has a strong accent, and he's Slavic. I'm not sure where he's from, but he might be German. But he used to do these YouTube videos where he was sitting in his car, and like one of his most famous ones was, so this famous person she is being said to be a party pooper, but why would you go to someone's party and poop? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So that's how he became famous. Yeah. And then he got a part in a kind of bit part in one of those singing movies. I don't remember he's had some bit parts lately, so I'm sure he's going to die in the first 30 seconds of the movie.
He sounds like he would be perfect for one of those model movies that was it Ben Stiller? Is that who did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sounds like a character. Falula.
Yes, he could definitely be in that.
Rob Moore, I guess he also agrees that they should definitely make it as long as needed to be, and not as long as the bosses say, which
that has been a big downfall of the DC movies. Warner comes down too hard and says the movie has to be shorter, and then the story gets cut up and doesn't make sense.
Well, it's the whole Zack Snyder thing, and you think Warner Brothers would learn their lesson on that deal, and I still don't know what the numbers are. If how much money that HBO Max made from that. I know that Zack Snyder, this is a different topic, but from my understanding, he didn't really find himself making a whole lot of money from this. This was more of a kind of a fan love project that he did. But anyhow, I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, again, I read somewhere, and I don't know, man, I wish I had that article, but they did talk about that Suicide Squad is going to start with a bang, and talked about right is going to be, kind of Saving Private Ryan right from the beginning.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
and I read that somewhere, and I have no idea who I read it from. It was in passing of doing some research, but that makes sense. I totally see that. Totally can see that. So
I think it's what's going to happen. It just makes sense.
yeah,
There's no reason to have all those actors throughout the whole movie.
yeah, exactly.
You're just not going to give it. You're gonna
No,
shortchange the good actors.
exactly.
Which I think is similar to what's going to happen with the Eternals.
Yeah,
The Eternals movie. I don't think they're going to die off. I think we're just going to ignore the majority of the cast.
I'm just not really excited about that.
I'm not.
I just
either.
don't. I'm just not excited. You want to be?
Excited about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should have just made a Black Knight movie and called it good. And
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
they could have just brought in a couple of Eternals.
Just do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the Moon Knight's supposed to be coming. Is that still on?
I think it's still shooting, isn't it?
Yeah. Where is it? I've got the list here. Hold on a second.
Because Mr. V over here got me started reading it on Marvel Unlimited. Man, if you don't have Marvel Unlimited and you're a big comic book fan, that is the way to go. Sometimes if you can find it sometimes you can find it advertised for a really good deal. So check that out.
Looks like it does not have an official release date. What did you say, Todd?
Moon Knight is still to be announced.
Yeah, it says
announced.
2022, but not an official release date yet.
Yeah.
So not this year.
Oh, and of course, the guy that they have playing him is the same guy who played Poe in Star Wars, which I think Oscar. I can't remember the last name. Oscar. I can't remember the actor's last name, but
He'll be good.
He'll be good. I like him. I like him too. I think Yeah, I really do. So, is there any other Marvel things that are coming up that you're excited about? I mean, of course, Black Widow is coming out.
Black Widow is coming out
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening.
Interesting thing about Black Widow, the girl, the actress, last name is Pugh.
Oh, Dan just said Isaac, so it's Oscar Isaac. So thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Our friends here, they keep us informed.
They do.
And I appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Pugh, who's playing the counterpart to Black Widow, is rumored to be playing the character that is the second person to take on the Black Widow mantra.
Yes.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that
might be a replacement.
Some of the critics are saying the new Black Widow movie is really just to set up the new Black Widow to replacement character.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
And that's part of the reason that particular guy gave it a bad rating. And ratings are all over the place on that movie.
It really is. I mean, it goes from, I've seen plenty of 8s. I've seen some 6, but again, it goes back to the critics and, guys like us,
I'm not going to, I hold all judgment until I see the audience score.
I saw a comment that said not much originality in the backstory. And I'm like, what kind of, you obviously don't read comics.
Exactly.
If they're going to be original, they're not going to follow the comic. I mean,
exactly.
The fans don't want that. They want you to follow the comic.
Yeah, it's like, what? Well, we've discussed all these little Easter eggs in her life over the last 10 years.
Exactly.
Give us some backstory now. You don't have to answer all the questions, but those are going to happen because they happened.
Exactly. I have to post this from our good friend Dan Lucky here.
No.
I'm going to anyway. What do you think of F9?
Dan, did you see the first 30 seconds of the show?
If you did, it's priceless. Yeah. We complained so much. I was distressed about all the memes, all the family memes,
all the Dom memes.
Oh my goodness. But I have not seen it, so I can't say anything about the movie. But the memes are driving me crazy.
I will only say this on the Fast. I watched the first one and I was like, hey, look, it's Point Break with cars.
Right.
And then the second one was completely different and ridiculous. And then I was like, oh, I'm done. And I haven't watched one since.
Yeah, exactly.
Daryl McCarty loves the memes.
Oh, Daryl, stop it.
My favorite Dom meme is the one that says, finally he gets a role where he can't talk and he's Groot. And then
exactly.
I am Groot, which means is, family.
Of course.
We are Groot.
And here we are talking about it. So the very thing that's bothering us, we are giving so much publicity for.
We have become that which we hate.
Yeah. I mean, look at the first couple of times I thought, Dan, Dan, like he said, what did you think of the Tomorrow Wars? I have not seen it yet, but I
haven't watched it. It is on my list to watch.
It's on my list.
Todd
It'd be a good topic to talk about.
Awesome.
Todd,
really
you've seen it.
Yeah. Very good.
And critic scores are low, but audience score is really high, like in the 80s.
Yeah. Keith Boas said that it was actually good. So thank you, Keith, for that information.
Keith, he made a comment earlier. I want to answer. He had an off-topic comment. Did you see it?
Which one?
Apparently that I look like Alan Grant from Jurassic Park.
I did say.
What did say? And my buddy Ricky.
Oh my goodness!
And Michael,
yeah.
Bringing me to the show. They spared no expense.
Oh, that is so. Oh, Keith, you won our. If we had an award right now, Keith, you would get it.
And I used to own an ice cream shop. So
there you go.
So speaking of sparing no expense, I just want to say, we spent our entire show budget just to get Todd on this show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And if you haven't figured out how much we spend on every show.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
For the postage stamp.
That's right. That's right. That is funny.
Goodness.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you caught that. Oh, that's good stuff.
So, Mike, are we actually going to talk about what we titled the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
We've been talking for 50 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to the title of the show yet.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't care. We could totally push it off till next week. I don't even care. Well, I could just change the file name.
You know what? I think we can. I don't know if we can talk about it for a little bit here, and just real quick. I think but I'm really excited about seeing Star Wars Visions, and I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but it's so awesome.
Yes.
And what's funny about it, of course, it's not funny, but they have it's an anthology series. It has all these short films. It's basically bringing Star Wars to anime, which I think is so cool. Yep. And it's being done by, I can think about 5 or 6 different Japanese studios.
I thought it was 10. I thought it was 10 studios.
Is it 10? Is it 10?
I think it's 10 episodes. I think it's 10 episodes. It might not be 10 studios. I could have that wrong.
Okay.
I think it's
well, and just, some of it here, like this right here. Look at that. For our audience, check out Star Wars trailers.
Star Wars Visions.
Star Wars Vision, the trailer to that. You'll see some of the stuff we're showing. I love this type of artwork. The samurai.
That one, the samurai stuff, the anime, the manga designs, and it so fits with what Star Wars tries to be.
Well, George Lucas, I was reading, doing research. George Lucas, one of the, get back here, one of the movies that really inspired him was The Seven Samurais was one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the other one called The Hidden Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
And so those two were a big influence on him when he was doing Star Wars. Actually, Hidden Fortress, he kind of took some of the plot in it and kind of, it was kind of similar to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Princess Leia, the whole princess and the general kind of deal. But yeah, I mean, I can totally see this, the Japanese, like Seven Samurais, that kind of theme working here. And
Yeah,
and
it reminds me of. Have you guys seen the Robots Love Death anthology?
no, I have
I
not.
have
It's
not.
on Netflix, and it's like this. It's like stories told in all different types
Yeah.
of anime and 3D
Okay.
graphics, and it's very similar to this. But they're not linked like this one is to one particular subject. But
Yeah.
interestingly, right after Star Wars New Hope came out,
Yeah.
there was a huge boom in the Japanese anime space operas. It like
Oh.
inspired a whole
Oh
new.
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Yamamoto, the
Yeah.
Mhm,
which
Yeah.
I
Star
love that one.
Blazers.
Well, Robotech.
Yeah.
mhm.
I mean, I think a lot of them are birthed from that
Yep.
because the Japanese really embrace it. Akira Kurosawa is the actual the producer who did 12 Samurai. Seven Samurais in
Yeah.
1954, and then the Hidden
Kurosawa.
Fortress 1950. Kurosawa, yeah. So, which love it, Seven Samurais. What's some really great stuff.
Rob
Here's
Morris
another.
says Samurai Jack meets Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And
This is the other one. I love the artwork.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and each studio is going to do something unique. So again,
And
I'm
watching
excited.
the little teaser thing, they even
Yeah.
talked about it. It's not even like they're not just doing different art styles. They're
Yeah.
going to even do different story styles.
Yeah, exactly.
So there may be a
Exactly.
story that's more of a friendship love story,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
with a little less action. Then they'll have the super high action, super samurai kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they'll have the goofy,
Mhm.
bubbly, round-headed
yeah, I know.
anime, big-eyed
Yeah,
anime
big eyes.
thing. The goofy, funny stuff. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a combination, not just serious Star
Yeah.
Wars stories, all in different anime styles. They'll have all sorts of different things.
And what I love about it is each one of these guys and gals that are doing this are all hardcore Star Wars fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, I love how they have a license to do what they want to do. I mean, this is totally not going to be canon. They even said that, which is, and I just love they're giving them license. Hey guys,
Yep.
you have fun with this. Oh, I did funny, for those out there who are gamers, Asteroid Boy, which they're not calling him that, but boy, he looks like Asteroid Boy to me.
Yes.
Doesn't he? I mean, you can't even, that's amazing,
Yep.
but that's the Japanese influence that's coming in here. I think it was
Yep.
really cool. Here's the Seven Samurais, which just cool movie, just awesome movie. And then of course the Hidden Fortress, which is also, influenced by George Lucas on Star Wars. I thought this was interesting too. This is kind of a Jabba the Hutt anime look for him.
Yeah.
And but there's some really great art. Just my goodness, the talent. I'm just really excited. I think it comes. I think in September, if I'm not mistaken. Let me.
I think
let's
that's what
look.
I heard.
Yeah, I hope I'm correct. It's. Let's take a look here. I just want to make sure we have
If it's September, it'll be right before Mandalorian, then probably.
Yeah, September 22nd. Yes. So, man, that's so good. I'm excited. I'm excited about all this.
Says, I just need a Vader samurai. Yes.
Daryl, I actually went online to try to find one, and they're actually I can't remember the Japanese company that does that, but they do have Japanese versions statues of the different Star Wars characters. They had one for Kylo Ren. They had one that was a stormtrooper, what looked like a samurai. They had one that was kind of a Darth Vader. They had different names for them, but man, they were awesome. The detail on it. So yeah, shell out your bucks. But yeah, so there's no, I mean, Disney, I'm telling you, you let guys like, Feige and, do what the best that they know at Marvel. You let Filoni and, Favreau do their thing and just let them alone and do their stuff. You're going to succeed because these people are fans in what they're doing. And that's the thing, like Warner Brothers, if they can learn that lesson and say, let these people who love these characters and love this genre do it, it's going to translate out there to the fans. And so in Warner Brothers, they still don't know. I think they're just, it's like, they're up there in some corporate tower and they're not understanding that having this giving the fans what they want is going to make money.
Well, and they're in the middle of a big transition right now that I'm slightly confused about.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me earlier. Explain.
Yeah. So AT&T is basically selling off their HBO Warner Brothers, I think the whole Warner Brothers, but at least HBO.
Yeah.
And combining it with Discovery. Yeah, it's really
Discovery.
weird. It's unclear to me whether this is all actually going to stay under the AT&T umbrella.
That's interesting.
Or if this is actually going to be spun off as a separate media division, separate from AT&T. Because AT&T owns all these properties.
Yeah.
When you say Warner Brothers and HBO, they're closely tied right now, but in reality, AT&T owns all of that.
Yeah.
And recently there was some news that was breaking that Discovery and HBO were all going to be merged together in some way. So it's a little unclear how all that's going to work.
Oh, Rob was helping me. It's Mike. He was telling me that it's Bandy or Bandai.
Bandai.
That's Bandai. That's the company who makes some of these great statues or large action figures that are, and they do Marvel stuff too. Marvel Samurai. I saw one that was Captain American Samurai. So they do all kinds of neat stuff like that. So I think it's pretty good. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. That helps me. I really wanted to know the name of that. And of course, Daryl McCarty, he says, awesome. He's going to start shelling out money for some of that stuff. So he's going to make me look bad. So anyway, this is from Dan. I just learned Rian Johnson's still involved in a Star Wars project and as a the Jedi, Last Jedi fan, I'm usually excited about that. So Rian Johnson is, I guess, I heard about that. He's going to do, he's on, actually, if I'm not mistaken, is the next trilogy.
That's the rumor.
That's what I heard. Now, and I don't know, the thing, I don't know if I heard that from Kathleen Kennedy or if that was some kind of Star Wars expo that they did, where they announced all these other shows that were coming out on Disney Plus. So I don't know.
Thank goodness Kennedy's going to be gone in September.
Now, tell me about that, because I didn't hear about that. I know that Filoni is now the executive. I forget, he has an executive title within the Star Wars franchise now, which thank goodness. He should just do it and everyone leaves him alone. But where did you hear that about Kathleen Kennedy? Because for some reason I haven't come across that, but I wasn't looking either.
Oh, I think I've seen it in 3 different places.
Okay.
But she's being removed from the creative process entirely.
Okay, well that makes sense because
I don't know that she's like gone, but she's not on the creative process.
I can see her on the business end. I can see her up on a higher management. I'm sure she's great at that, and maybe that makes sense moving, Filoni up to I think and he's probably going to be the executive creativity of the creative side of things, which that makes total sense.
Yeah. I also heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but that Brie Larson got the boot. She was being being too difficult to work with. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, I don't
have the sources anything. Ricky's got.
I haven't heard that. I know she was pushing to have more of a larger role in the Marvel development as a whole,
and wanted more money too, didn't she?
Yeah, and this is outside of her acting chops. She was wanting to have some creative input into the universe, but I haven't heard. I never heard she was offered anything. Yeah, and I've never heard that they have turned her down for anything either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what I heard was that that Filoni, he just got done dealing with this exact same thing with Kennedy, and then Bree started up, and he's like, no.
Daryl McCarty commented on this. He said, I read that she's hard to work with, period. So that's interesting. And again, like I said, I haven't dug into any of this, so I don't know. So it'd be interesting to see what comes out of it. I know that a lot of people were upset with Captain Marvel, so we'll see what happens there. Dan, salute our Trekkies out there. Dan was talking about in the world of Star Trek, remastering of the motion picture. The director's edition has just been announced today after many years of speculation and fans wanting that. So that's awesome. That's some good Trekkie news right there.
Now that's not the one with the whales.
No, that's one with V'ger, isn't it, Dan?
What?
Todd, when you
V'ger?
Todd, when you said no, I was thinking I could speak. I speak whale. Hello. Space whales.
Oh, space whales.
Now that Star Wars has space whales, I can't pick on it quite as much. But I still think it's still going to be my running gag.
Yeah, that's funny. Hey, that's why I have that clip ready moment. Yes, all times. That's.
And wasn't there a whale that fell on top of something in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
a plant.
Yeah,
exactly.
The whale.
He was reincarnated into a potted plant, and he crashed to the planet, and a whale landed on him.
That's good stuff. That is good stuff.
Hey, this whole thread about Jurassic Park has kept going.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Dan is just saying looks more like John Hammond.
Yeah, I think they meant John Hammond when they said Alan. Yeah, I think they meant John Hammond when they said Alan the first time.
And then a little bit further down, Dan says, in a drunken sort of way.
Oh, man.
Cheers, Dan.
Oh, man. I love our audience. Man. It didn't even hit me. I thought, hey, I like your hat tonight. And now it's like, oh, my goodness.
You can't not see it.
I can't see it now.
On glare.
Now I can't see it anymore. I cannot see it. All you need is wear the glasses now that he wore. Man, that's awesome. That made me so happy. I can go home. Rob says, I can go home happier than normal today with that line. Yes. Oh, man. That's great stuff. Anything else? I mean, I know I know that Star Wars Vision was supposed to be in the meat of it, but that's okay. It's still in the title. But is anything you got Do you know anything else that's over the horizon that's got your interest right now? Anything that
I
you're
I
thinking?
am super stoked about the new Shang-Chi movie.
Yes.
That
There's a new trailer they dropped a little over a week ago, and it looks like it tells a little more of the story. I'm a little fearful that they're giving us everything up front, which makes me a little worried about it, but it looks really
yeah
good. We're
yeah
going to have we're still not going to have the comic accurate um uh Mandarin, but I think we're going to
yeah
have something closer to the Mandarin.
yeah
The 10 it appears that the 10 rings are bracelets instead of finger rings.
yeah
And they make that pretty clear in this trailer. It was
yeah
kind of hinted at in the last trailer. It's really clearly that's the case in this trailer. But it does look really great. And it's got some strange kind of, we're going to do some mystic stuff. We're going to do
yeah
some urban stuff. We're going to do, we got some family drama. Where's the Dom memes that pop up now?
oh no
Because they're family.
they're
There is
family.
family drama because it looks like that Shang-Chi, the hero, the main character, is going to be. Thank you for the Dom meme.
There you go.
It looks like he is going to be either. It looks like either he's the adopted son or he is the quote unquote adopted son
Yeah
of the Mandarin. I'm a little unclear as to whether it's a real adoption or if it's a, just kind of a, a feeling adoption, you know.
We're gonna
But
censor Daryl McCarty on family. There we
he
go.
can no longer say family can
Yeah,
no longer
no-
be said in this show.
No, on the show.
But I think it looks really great. I think it will be fun. I'm afraid it's not going to fit well into the MCU as a whole.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know where it's going to fall in. So
Yeah, because it seems like a just a total different. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine being in the current MCU universe, unless it ties in somehow with Doctor Strange, some of his origin there. But even then, it has a total different feel.
yeah,
Just have a
it
total
really
different feel
does.
to me.
It does, and it would be possible to bring him in as an Avenger, but he doesn't. He has a different look and feel than the rest of the Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be different if you had like a Luke Cage
yeah,
coming in, because Luke Cage is more the superhero kind of brutal. I mean, martial
Yeah,
arts being
yeah,
brawling is
exactly.
what
Yeah,
Luke Cage is
exactly.
kind of doing.
Yeah,
Or even as bad as the Netflix version was, having a Iron Fist who is more of a superhero-y
yeah,
martial artist, less of a genuine martial artist,
yeah.
which
Exactly.
is what they're going for here in the Shang-Chi movie.
Mhm.
I hope they can fit it in. I hope it ties together well and works.
I hope
But
it gels well. I don't want them forced. Don't
yes,
try to
exactly.
force it in MCU.
Yeah. If he's not going to fit into the mainstream MCU,
Yeah.
let him just be a standalone movie and
Yeah,
call it
exactly.
good and move on. And it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fine. Exactly. Kind of like DC has to do on some of their stuff right now. Our good friend Dan Lecky, I'm sorry, said perhaps we could discuss some comedic sci-fi productions sometimes, as there are a few in production, like Galaxy Quest series. I love Galaxy Quest.
Alice
There's a
Page.
series.
That I didn't know there was a series, but the movie itself, I loved it. It was Tim Allen was in it, and it just portrays the whole Trek conventions and and the stars, and it was funny. It's one of my favorites. I can watch it I can see it on TV walking by, and I'll sit down and watch it. So
Galaxy
yeah.
Quest series is
Alan Rickman was in it.
Oh, he's awesome.
in
Sigourney Weaver.
development at Amazon Studios.
Oh, Dan Licky, thank you, because that I did not know that.
No, I didn't
Did
either.
not know. Yeah,
What was that?
that would be great. The series. I
Yeah.
wonder who they would have playing those characters. Because always it's so hard to take a movie, in that kind of context and get the right people in it. I mean, you can do a totally new thing, but it'd be interesting. Simon Pegg is working on the series. Dan was telling us that Simon Pegg is. Then I love Simon Pegg.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah. Then it has a whole lot of hope. Then thank you, Dan. Yeah, that's sounds. Yeah, I like him. And plus he played. Of course, however he felt about the Chris Pine treks. Simon Pegg played Scotty, which I thought he did fine.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed the series for what it was. It was entertainment. I'm not going that direction, but overall, I enjoyed. I watch it for what it was. So basically, but yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm trying to think of something else that I'm really hyped up for. I want to see the Suicide Squad only because I'm so curious how they're going to throw all these people together. And then Shang-Chi, which is, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's something totally different than what we've seen in Marvel. Yeah. So I'm excited to see that. Of course, Star Wars Visions we've talked about. There's
What If's supposed to be coming out soon, isn't it, Ricky?
Yes, that is something I want to see real soon. Yeah.
What's coming out?
What Ifs?
Oh yes.
Now when is
September? Is it August or September?
It just says summer 2021. I
thought we actually saw a date. When is What If coming out? I thought there was an official date release.
Can you believe
August 6th is what this article says?
Guys, can you believe that in the very beginning, all they had was Mandalorian, and it was this dry run, and there was nothing going on, and people go, I'm subscribing, it's over, I'm unsubscribing, season 2, I'm subscribing. And now, I mean, Disney has gotten me to the point where why would I want to unsubscribe?
There's always something else.
Right.
And we knew that was where they're trying to get to. They needed a start,
absolutely.
But man, Star Wars Marvel fans, this is awesome. And I think it's pretty cool.
And then in between, you can watch the 1970s Muppets.
There you go. Which is my hey, I love the 19s. Did they actually get that on there? I know at one time there was kind of a dispute about the 19 with the Jim.
The original Muppet Show is on Disney Plus every episode. With some disclaimers that say at the beginning that say there might be some outdated stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like when you have somebody singing a song like Short People or
yeah, exactly. Fat shaming, bunch of fat shaming Muppets. Bunch of fat shaming Muppets. Anyway. I had to go there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dan made a comment that they were also working on a spinoff for USS Callister, which is from Black Mirror, which I haven't watched Black Mirror. It's on my watch list, but I have.
Yeah.
Have you watched Black Mirror at all?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard some people that I know who really like it. So, but I have not seen it. I've got this big queue of things that I need to watch, and Tomorrow's War is on my list now too. So
I keep adding that.
Yeah, I know. Well, I need to get Netflix back on. I was trying to save some money, but but I got to bring back Netflix again because there's some stuff on there I want to see. So, but right now, I mean, if you had to pick one streaming service, and this is kind of one. Who would? I know this is hard. Who would it be?
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. It's like giving up a child.
If I only had to pick, if I could only pick one, I would definitely go with the Disney Plus series. Subscription.
I'm with you.
There's just too much there that I would watch on a regular basis. I don't find myself watching. Now, if it was my family, if it was my wife, we couldn't get rid of BritBox
I,
because she hunts down all sorts of weird, quippy, strange little British shows.
Yeah, but you and me are like that.
Watch the whole thing.
But Ricky, we're like that too. I mean, we're like, British file
I would
kind of
totally
guys. I
enjoy
mean,
it.
I mean, it wouldn't be the one I pick over everything else, but
Yeah.
I do love some BritBox there. I love some IT Crowd. Anybody out there who knows IT Crowd?
Doc
and
Martin.
You're my friend. Doc Martin.
Doc Martin's good.
I like Doc Martin. We're good. We're probably, we talked about, we did a BBC special last season. I like to do one again and see how we can revisit that.
Rob Moore just got me going. If Blake 7 is still on BritBox, if you've not seen it, definitely have a look. Here's the deal, Rob. It is on BritBox, but only if you're not in the U.S.
Oh, that's
no! I hate that.
If you're what is it? The U.S., Canada, and there's like 3 countries that are associated on the one plan, and they don't have access to Blake 7, but the European version of BritBox does, and I love Blake 7.
Can you get on YouTube?
I don't know,
but
why do they?
It gets blocked, so you can't watch the whole show. And
Rob was saying I agree with Todd. It's definitely messed up. I don't understand.
Dan, Space 1999 is great. It's so old and so out of date.
Cheesy.
It's so cheesy. But it's good. They tried to be serious. They were. They attempt at being serious and they do it well, but they just didn't have the technology to do it well. But it's a great show. I really love Space 1999. I watched it.
Awesome.
I watched repeats when I was a kid because when I was in the 70s, it was playing as it wasn't first run, but
exactly.
It's a great show.
I love the Eagles, the spacecraft.
Oh yeah,
because they look like
Yes, exactly. The technology, most of the technology looked like something that I would have actually expected NASA to create at some point. It didn't look so out of place that you went, I don't think we would ever get there.
So speaking of our non-Star Wars Vision show, which this is great. I mean, we had so much we wanted to talk about. We had to throw a title out there, but we're like almost an hour and a half, and we probably can go on for another hour. I'm going to say one thing. I love our audience. Thank you all. Rob Moore, Dan Leckie, Daryl McCarty, Keith, thank you for coming and joining us.
I'm trying to see who else popped on. I think that's everybody.
Yeah, the guy from Jurassic Park. Thank you for joining us. What else do we have? Yeah, CDC. Thank you for providing information. So anyway, this has been this has been a great show, and it's only a great show because you guys join, you help us, you correct our you're fact finders, you help us out when we can't think of the name of somebody. So we still, next week we will be back on Wednesday night, hopefully, all things go well. Again, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. What we're gonna do, who knows, but we're gonna be speaking nerdy as always. And man, do you have anything else to say, guys?
I heard that Strange New Worlds started filming its last episode of season 1, according to Anson Mount over on Collider.
Awesome. That would be awesome. And so, thank you everyone. Thank you actually. And thank you, Todd, for joining us tonight, our Florida Man correspondent.
Great.
I'm glad all things turned out well for you. Next week, we're going to do some more crazy stuff, talk about more nerdy things. That's all I have to say.
Shouldn't I be getting a royalty check from Jurassic Park?
You know what? Or we can be shut down because you are Probably that would happen more than anything else. But
a cease and desist letter from.
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
I guess doesn't Disney own Jurassic Park now? I've lost track of who owns what.
They
anymore.
own Disney owns everything. If
They own
anything, I don't
everything.
know. So, yes, yeah, it's John.
Hammered.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So anyway,
Feeling the love.
just hey, check us out. Help me out, Ricky. You can join
click
us.
all
at,
those buttons down below, like, subscribe, notifications, click the bell.
Yes.
Whatever buttons you have down there. Click
Yeah,
all
there's a
those
button
buttons.
that helps. Yeah,
And,
just click all the
you can-
buttons.
You check us out at speakingnerdy.com.
Yeah, we have speakingnerdy.com.
Speakingnerdy.com. And check out our Facebook page at Speaking Nerdy and our group at Speaking Nerdy on Facebook
That's right.
as well.
That's right.
Thanks for
Well,
the shout
gentlemen.
out, Rob.
Yes. So I think we should end the show, my friend.
Let's do it. This has been the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Silly.
My good friend, Mr. Ricky Pope, and Todd V. Well, that's pretty good. I think we didn't screw up too bad. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
and
was
plus,
fun.
we had a little Jurassic Park theme going on. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I thought
that was a pretty good show for having
Yeah.
for barely talking about our subject.
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for Jeff Goldblum to come behind Todd. So that was going to be good, or T-Rex. So hey, that's right. I like the hat. So anyway, but